All right. I'm gonna not say anything about that. Alrighty. Okay. So, good to see you again, TC. Again,
Yeah.
we're re-recording this, of course, as I probably already mentioned. But yeah, that's the point. So I have 5 questions to ask you as we're doing this. I'll go. It doesn't matter the order. I'm just going to ask you questions. Who do you think? Who would you say in D4E, in the whole group of D4E, has the best looking attires for whatever character they're using?
Best looking attires. Well, if I really want to say, this could be pretty much everyone. It just depends on how creative the person gets with the character. But there's a couple people in D4E that have like some decently like
I guess I should
special
specify who has like not the greatest, but the best looking attire for if you had to name anybody. You can name 2 if you wanted to.
There's some couple people that can dress nice in the ring and all. I would say probably one of them is I say Venom. I say Venom gets pretty creative with the way he designs
with his damn suit attires.
Yeah, he's pretty.
The suit attires like looking Gucci. It's so goofy, but I find it very hilarious, and that's why I like it so much. It's just like I don't really see I find it more funny that he's wrestling with the suit and like saying "Don't touch my Jordans." I'm like, are you kidding?
Yeah, like, so too much. He brings more funny character to his.
It's like comedic. It's almost. I don't know if not to be disrespectful to him. It's almost comedic how he like portrays his characters. Kind of. It's like they're like, don't touch my Jordans. I'm like, dude, they're just shoes in a game or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What would you say is your favorite moment in D4E? Whether it's your moment or a moment you were able to witness. What's your favorite moment in D4E so far?
Oh, geez, my favorite moment. Well. I can't really say much because I haven't been in D4E for a whole year, but so far what I've witnessed...
You're getting close, I think. I think you're getting closer.
Yeah, probably around...
Oh, wait, maybe... September. I'm trying to think. Maybe September. August or September, you might be. Yeah, I think.
September is when my full year will be in D4E. But besides the point, I think my favorite match that I've seen in D4E...
Or moment.
Or moment, regardless of it.
Yeah, you can just answer both with the same thing if that's what you want to say. It was my second question anyway. Favorite match or moment, I guess. Doesn't matter.
Okay. I mean, D4E, there's a lot of good matches and stuff, but I think my favorite match that I had to say I've done in D4E, or if anyone else is probably the, when, so far there's just one of them. It was me versus Jackal. And it was at the last special event, and came out to the ring and proved the point to him, and took back what was mine.
What was it? Slaughterhouse, or were you talking about Apocalypse?
I think it was Slaughterhouse. I think one of them, but I think the 3 Stages of Brutality is probably my favorite match that I've done in D4E with Jackal.
Yeah, the one with Jackal for the world title.
Yeah.
Because you managed to you lost the first match, but you did manage to come back with the second 2 and take the title from him, and also retain successfully against him at Apocalypse and shut him out for the time being. D4E business I'm going to bring up just briefly is, I don't know if you noticed in the D4E Xbox chat, someone is coming back. I guess I don't know who it is, but I don't know if you saw that.
Rumors.
It's someone named Mr. Dizzy. I'll just bring that up real quick. I don't know if Sox, if he's here in the audio, I don't know if he'll know who that is, but someone named Mr. Dizzy that said in the group chat that he's the Beast is coming back or something like that, and saying he's hunting for the tag titles, and then Jackal did the evil, like the devil emoji. I guess he knows him, or he said he's a legend, which, yeah, right. I have to see that. Probably bullshit. Yeah. And then, okay, next question. Didn't want to go off topic, but who would you say has been your favorite opponent you've faced in D4E so far? Who would you say is your favorite opponent in any kind of match? Who's your favorite opponent? Or opponents? I should probably specify. Who are your favorite opponents?
There's multiple, but if I really had to pick a couple people out there, I like facing people that actually can do wrestling, not just go in there and just have 5-minute matches and all that stuff. Because to be honest, that's
boring.
Going to try to just prove a point.
That's boring
and stuff. So I mean, It depends on the person's attitude, but if I really had to say my favorite matches to fight against people is obviously got to be with like Akuma,
Jeff.
Jeff, and Nightmare and Twist, which is you.
Yeah.
And
I feel like, I don't know if I would say
sometimes.
Phenom, but
Yeah, I don't really despise facing anyone. It's just that like obviously it's wrestling, so we want to like wrestle for fun, not
yeah,
just
it's
go in
just
there
you have
like
certain people that you
5 to
enjoy
10
trying to
minute
do
match. We want
create a
like a
story
good.
with, that kind of
Yeah, we
thing.
want something that's like 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops.
Yeah, no 5 minutes. That's boring. 5 minute squash, especially squash matches, they suck ass.
Yeah.
But actually,
I pretty
that's
much enjoy
not
wrestling
a topic
anyone.
to talk about.
Yeah.
And I'll also answer my own questions after this, since obviously it wouldn't make sense for me to ask you, and unless you want to ask the same ones back, or if you have questions. But now this one, I'm kind of more curious about this one. Out of respect, not trying to sound disrespectful, who would you say has been your least favorite opponent you've faced in D4E, or someone you've really not gotten along with? Out of respect, you're not trying to trash them, but you're just saying you didn't really like them. Who would you say you had your worst match with, or your least favorite match that you really wish you didn't do?
Okay, so like I said, I do respect everyone, but if I really had to pick a particular person that I at least
that you don't really like doing matches
and all that
with?
stuff, I would probably say Pierre. I don't really like wrestling Pierre because he just does the same typical 4 moves. He just he doesn't bring like the fun into when you're doing matches and stuff like that.
He doesn't make anything original, and also that's something not to talk about, to probably not hear, is his actions when he was going to have a title match with Narin, for one. Like, really just ghost everybody? Like, that's not cool.
Yeah, I mean, I do respect. I mean, Pierre he didn't do nothing personally to me. Like, I mean, he was the quiet one and all that stuff. But just the way he's
just the actions and how he did.
He's a good person, like I said, but just his wrestling style, playing games and all that. It's just I just don't like wrestling him.
Right, and then as I said, his actions in terms of when he was gonna have a title match. Like, if you're gonna have a title match, at least be there for the title match. Don't just ignore, that's. But anyways, now if you want to ask the same questions back, if you need me to read them out, so you can ask me. Unless you already know the questions, I'll just answer them. Okay. Do you want me to repeat the questions for you to ask me, or no?
I'll think of something on my own.
Okay, because I'll answer the questions here, and then if you have any 1 or 2 questions, doesn't really matter how many. At least don't have more than 5, though. Just if you have 2 or 3 questions you want to ask me, D4E related, of course. So D4E related.
You can just ask all the questions first, and then I can ask a couple.
Okay. So my favorite opponent I faced in D4E so far. Ooh, that's always a tough one. And then the least favorite opponent, I don't really have an easy answer. Well, I do have one, but we're not going to talk. I'll save that. But favorite opponent, again, it's always a mix, because I have good matches. I've had a lot of good matches with you, Phenom. Sometimes it's a mixed bag. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I think it's sometimes when he has his Brock character that is just kind of more annoying to have matches with. Who's customized Brock, but that's besides the point. Jeff, I always have good matches with. Akuma, I've always good matches with. But I say my favorite opponent, I'd say it's a toss-up between you and Akuma. I think I have good matches with you and Akuma, and Bear as well. I have good matches with, because I think something that's so hard to concentrate because he's making me laugh so damn hard. It's like it's so hard to concentrate, but I do try to have good matches with everybody. But yeah, I say you or Akuma. If I had to tie, I put you and Akuma at first for my favorite opponents in D4E. Favorite moment in D4E, I'd say it's probably just winning the tag titles for the first time, or winning a championship for the first time in D4E. Even if it was the match, of course, which was me and King when we were Twisted Kings taking on, I believe it was Zalix and Jeff of IOC, the team that doesn't exist anymore. But that was when Captain wasn't there for whatever reason. I don't even recall what it was. I would have to ask Darn about that. Yeah, that match, the second time we did, because obviously the first one we ended in a time limit draw, and then we won the titles the second time. Even though I still think the result was sort of questionable, mainly for Zalix's case, because I don't know if you recall where he looked like he had the rope. I thought he was going to get a rope break, but the ref counted the pinfall, even though he clearly had his hand under the rope and just went forward with it. And then we had the rematch where me and King successfully retained against Captain and Jeff, even though I was Captain could have taken it. He could have taken that victory, especially when I got eliminated. He could have beat King, but he managed to get that rope break, which thankfully we did. People have best looking attires. Sometimes I'm more of the kind of person that likes simplistic, like somewhat simple, not simple towards boring, but like simple enough to where I can understand what they're going with it. And I'd say Narn I liked with his, his Danny Filth, like it's supposed to be like almost like a goth kind of character that's supposed to almost make you feel a little weirded out. Like I don't know, I like the look of his Danny Filth character.
Yeah.
And then Big John, even if the spelling's weird, with it being John, I like Judgment's characters, how he looks. I like the Ghostface character. It's always funny to see that. And them just do the ooga ooga, that whole thing. I like Phenom's attires for some of his characters, and yours as well. It's hard to pick a favorite for attires, really. And then favorite match, that's a tough one. When ending is questionable, I did like the Key to Glory match at Immortality that we did last year. Where Nightmare ended up winning. Again, questionable decision, ending besides the point. With him basically climbing up, and you could have stopped him, but he didn't. But we're not gonna talk too much about that. It ended the way it did. It was kind of shady, but at the same time, it's whatever. It's wrestling. Some things like this happen. And then least favorite opponent. I did say I was gonna save this, but yeah, I'm gonna answer this. You wouldn't have known this because you weren't here at the time. But my least favorite opponent I would say I've ever faced in D4E. And the reason I dislike this guy so much is because of his actions, like after the match, and what his following actions, like for the fast following weeks or whatever. So at Lord of the Arena last year, it was I was supposed to be in the Tag Team Titans tournament with a partner who doesn't exist in D4 anymore. His name was Showtime, and then me and Phenom were in a stable. This guy named Showtime, or JJ. It was called Disciples of Darkness, aka DOD. And me and JJ were supposed to be in the Tag Team Titans tournament, and then in the Lord of the Arena tournament, it was going to be me versus Phenom versus JJ, aka Showtime. All three of us were going to be in a triple threat match to try to see who would advance through the tournament, the Lord of the Arena tournament, right? Well, he basically he ghosted us, and also because I tried to text him and say, "Hey, we need you for matches," he said he had told Narn that he was going to be at the beach, but the thing is, that was a week ago or whatever, whenever it was, and he didn't say. I didn't hear from Narn or anybody saying that he told him he would be gone longer. So I told Phenom, I told Narn what happened, and so what ended up happening was someone that was not really supposed to be in the tournament, in the Lord of the Rings tournament, had to be put in because JJ wasn't there. So it was me and versus Phenom versus guy Blaze, or Blake Rivera, whatever his character's name was. And then that also meant me and Phenom had to team up in the Tag Team Titans tournament, where we lost to Judgment and Narn in the finals. Good match though. But this match, because it was a triple threat match, but no eliminations, first pin wins the match and would move on. I ended up winning the match, and this was after Phenom's character, who was like a Roman Reigns customized Roman Reigns, got hit with a chokeslam by this Blaze guy, and then I did a clothesline to knock him down, and he rolled over to the corner, and then I pinned Phenom to get the win. But instead of him getting upset at me, which I thought he was going to get upset at me for stealing the pin from him, he got upset at Narn. He lost that at Narn instead of me, which is who I was expecting him to get mad at because I stole the pin. Even though Narn did the same thing in his match, and there was no real complaint because he had to do what he had to do, and I did the same thing. And this Blaze guy, very immature, I'd say. He said "F fuck you" to Narn, and then also said he called him like an F. He called him like a faggot, called him a bitch, basically, and then he left. And then following that, he wouldn't apologize when Jeff. who knew this guy, tried to talk with him and tell him to try to apologize. He said that no, he said don't remind me of it. Or when Narn had him in the party, he said don't remind me of it. So basically saying he didn't want to talk about it, he wasn't going to apologize. So Narn fired him right then.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I really don't like this guy, because the way he acted, and also disrespecting Narn, like that's fucked up. You don't do that shit. Anyways, I think we've talked for long enough. We're almost reaching 15 minutes, so I think I might cut it off here, just so it's hopefully we've talked long enough and we answered these questions. And yeah.
Well, we'll do part 2 or something in the near future and all that.
Yeah, I was gonna redo the next episode. Phenom, but obviously he's on vacation right now, so yeah, but that's not important right now. Anyways, I'm just gonna. Alrighty, I will as soon as I get the audio file, I'm gonna start editing, and hopefully it sounds good. I'll just have to figure out what to do with uploading it.
Alrighty.
Yeah, just gonna wait till the bot goes away first.